G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an R-101C. This is a weapon from Titanfall, and also Titanfall 2, so it's a very generic, futuristic-looking rifle, but with elements of modern firearms sort of sprinkled in to make it look a little bit more grounded and believable, a little bit more gritty. This thing is not super clean, it's got a little bit of grime and dust and whatever on it, so I think it looks the part. A little bit of AR-15 in sort of this section here, except for maybe the magazine sort of angled a little bit like a Chris Vector. I don't know if it's got that crazy recoil control system that the Chris Vector has. You'd think so. That's a cool system. You want to reduce the recoil on any firearms. It's a pretty good idea to throw one of those on. I think towards the front of this thing, it looks a little bit like the Scar H. Obviously, the prongs on that flash hider there are a little bit too long, but the sort of the shape is there. And there's also that sort of greebling area at the front there, I think, is a little bit like a Sky H, but it definitely looks the part. It's a good-looking rifle, but unfortunately for us, we don't have any giant mechs to crawl into and use even bigger guns, so we'll stick with the R-101 as it is now. The C just means carbine, so a short barrel version, I believe. Not that the barrel actually changes. We'll get to that in a second, but in the Titanfall universe, this fires some crazy high-powered round, but we've just got the 5.56s of the vanilla game powering this thing, which is, for a standard assault rifle, I think is fine, but there's probably an option here just to make its own ammo things and then just have it craftable on a workbench if you want to go that extra mile for that immersion. Also, the animations on this are custom, but I think they're made for a different rifle. A little bit of clipping with the magazine during the reload, but I don't think it's too bad. They've done well with whatever they were granted. I think it's RU556 animations, but I'm not particularly familiar with them, but they do look familiar when we go and use them. So right now, we've got the R101C. You can have the C2 version, or the R201C. Now, if you want to use the standard iron sights, this is definitely the one to use, because if you're using standard iron sights for these particular variations, you'll see it's got that Picatinny rail at the top, which is not an iron sight. I mean, your character will still line up where the bullets are going in the middle of the screen, but there's no actual sights to speak of. If you've got a tracer mod installed like I have, then it's even better than iron sights, because then you know exactly where you're going to be shooting at as soon as you just follow the traces. But we'll give this one the 201C receiver. We've got a carbine barrel here. You can have a compact one as well. It's got a penis joke there for some reason, but whatever. Also, assault barrels increase your range by a significant margin, and LMG barrels will increase your damage and also give you heaps more range. There's also Gausses as well. So you can have a Gauss version, or a Gauss version with a laser, even a suppressed version of the Gauss thing, or a laser version of the suppressed Gauss, which will give you an extra cool barrel attachment there. Some magnetic inductors on the side there to speed up the bullet as it's flying out the barrel. That's really cool. We're going to leave this as the standard bullet-firing LMG version for now, but we'll move on. Next, we've got the stocks, which don't actually do anything aesthetically, but this one has superior recoil bearing with scopes, and exceptional recoil with the recoil compensated thing. So I'm thinking that'll help curb the recoil the most, so we'll throw that on. And you can change the magazine. So we're using a 201C. You can make the magazine in this thing match the 201C magazine, or you could have it a little bit different depending on whether you like these particular aesthetics better. Got the iron sights right now. This is the only one that can use the iron sights, but you can get the HCOG sights. I've noticed that the HCOG 2 variant has a little bit more of a zoom in, so if you want a little bit more range out of your thing, or just make it slightly better over a medium sort of distance, then that's a way to do it. So we'll throw that one on, although I want to check out the standard iron sights on this thing as well, so maybe we'll throw the HCOG on something else when we can't use the iron sights. And you can throw a suppressor on, which doesn't actually add anything to the end of the barrel at all, but we get extra damage from Ace Operator, and I'm pretty sure it changes the sound as well. And that would be about it, apart from a legendary effect slot added by a legendary modification and some extra damage should you feel this thing is not doing the job. But 135, I think, is pretty solid. Considering we'll have zero recoil to contend with, this will be good enough, I think. We're going to definitely grab some of these Gauss versions, though, because that's where the real power is. Look at that. Yeah. All these weapons are craftable on the chemistry workbench. Just find weapons RSPN 101. That's respawn, because this is a respawn. The ones who made Titanfall. But they all require either a combat rifle, or for the Gauss variants, a Gauss rifle. So we'll grab this one. That's a legendary variant according to this. And we'll grab another 201, 101C2, and a standard 101C. Welcome back to the Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our R-101 in first person. As you can tell, this thing has the Gauss coils here and the secondary HCOG sort of sight there. So we get a pretty decent zoom in, which is pretty nice. This is the one that I made on the workbench, complete with the iron sights. This is just the standard LMG barrel with a suppressor. It sounds like a Gauss rifle going off when it fires. That's funny. The only thing that is different about this thing is there's no impact sound for the bullet, so there's none of that punchy explosion sound that you get whilst firing a Gauss rifle, like in an automatic fashion. If you've ever done it before, you'll know about it. But we've also got COD tier loud and proud sounds as well, which is nice. But this mod, and it says this on the mod page, it doesn't work in third person, you see. The ejection port seems to be almost there, but you'll notice when I reload this, that's assault rifle animation. So it appears that the animations in third person are that of an assault rifle, so everything's a little bit out, as you can tell. If you just shift the gunner forward a little bit and then down a little bit, then this thing would be pretty perfect. Obviously, you'd have to change the reload animation, but that might be a good way to just get it sitting properly if you don't want to add a third-person reload. So there's work to be done on this thing still, but I think it's a pretty cool-looking thing, at least in first-person. The animations are actually from Ozzy the Raven's XM8, so yeah, I misspoke earlier. So from the RU556, it's close, but not quite. Anyways, we'll get started, and another thing is we've got classic holstered weapons back. You can wear these guns, and they look great. I got a custom skeleton mod, so when I crouched and sort of stood like this, the knees wouldn't clip so badly. If you've ever played Fallout 4 and you've crouched down and looked at your character's knees, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, you don't want to have it like a snap, like a 90-degree bend anyway. It's not good. Anyways, we'll get started. You'll see in the bottom of the screen there, we've got VAFs again. This is the unsuppressed Gauss version. Let me get the suppressed one. Curse these gigantic Gauss bullets. The 2mm of massive hitboxes. But, yep, things are going pretty well so far. We're getting... I don't think there's any explosions for the Gauss rifle. I mean, there's explosions there. You can tell by the hit markers, but I don't think I'm getting any damage. If I am, I've downloaded a mod that will change that. Maybe the Gauss shotgun mod does that. Have I got that installed? I'm not sure. But as you can tell, it's a very slow firing weapon when it comes to using this thing in the Gauss fashion, but when you go over the bullets, it's actually quite fast and quick. And just like I was talking about before, the iron sights aren't perfect, but if you've got tracer mods, you can get by pretty easily. Oh yeah, this feels so much better to use in VAFs, I'll tell you that much. Now, question is, I suppose we're gonna have the same bashing animation as the XM8 there. And I guess we can use some criticals now. Make these count, damn it. So I think I should get a 3-round burst of criticals when it comes to utilizing this thing, because it's an automatic weapon, and usually VATs with auto guns do give you a little bit. I just used up my entire VATS bar for nothing there. Okay. See, there's pros and cons. Sometimes VATS is better just for those guaranteed hits that'll just do so much damage. Like, it's a little bit hard to hit that gunner's face like that when they're far away, and I've got no point of reference on where they're actually aiming, and that's an idiot savant proc. I got 1,000 XP for killing that gunner. We might even get a second level up here. Not that we'll really need it, but whatever. Anyways. Just mow that guy down in slow motion. That seems to be going alright. And just like VATS, you can generate crits a little bit faster if you do use this thing in VAFs, and you build up the crits by shooting their faces and stuff, so that's good. But I do honestly think the generation of the criticals is still a little bit too low, because if I was using VATS and it's every couple of shots or bursts, I guess, for this assault rifle, I'd be getting them pretty regularly. So I don't know. Maybe I could tweak it, get the numbers feeling right, but I don't know whether the way that this sort of mod works, that might be too overpowered. And mysterious stranger has shown up and has quickly warped away. Didn't last too long, I don't think. Anyways, let's move it to gun number 3. Actually, we've already seen this one, haven't we? What's number 4? Loud Gauss rifle. Yeah, I can dig that. So despite the immense damage you get per bullet in comparison to the bullet one, it looks like this thing is of similar DPS, of course. And let me just jump on this. Yep, thank you. Jump on that. Call that a parapet wall? Probably not. I'd call it dodgy architecture. Would have sucked to cap, I tell you that much. That's the jobs that you'd hope the builder is signed up for, so you have to go back and measure all that up and install it. Because doing that, you'd have to set up planks and trestles. Sorry, I've been working a lot. It's Christmas, well, normally it's Christmas rush months, usually through November and December. We work every single Saturday. But in this case, work slowed down a bit, at least locally. But I'm committed to working double time all day on a Saturday. You love to see it. Unless you're working on a zinc aluminum roof with the sun blaring at you from underneath and over. Well, I can say I've got a kick-ass tan right now. Anyways, more about the gun in Titanfall. So I never played Titanfall. I saw gameplay of it. I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. But, you know, I was too busy playing Killzone 2 and Battlefield at those days, you know. Man, those crits do so much damage when they roll in. Might just do another one here. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I just... Please get up. Please get up. Please. Yes. Okay, good. Thankfully, I've got a lot of health, but this doesn't bode well. Don't you dare. Yes, keep gun bashing me, will ya? Or at least, like, blow me off the roof. No, don't do this to me. Oh, I can't even VATS. I can't even VATS. Okay. That's nerd rage, at least. Now. Where did they go? God damn it. If anyone asks, we totally won that fight and didn't fall on the last hurdle at all. Now it is time for killing a Deathclaw, maybe. We've got all our crits back because, you know, I went back and generated them off camera, you see. So, we'll get started here. Just crits all around. Just keep on bringing those crits in. And the mysterious stranger has shown up. He's about to get stomped instantly. All our crits have gone away. But the mysterious stranger's done pretty well there. Yeah, pretty good start. And we've got a couple of crits ready to go at the moment, so that's good. That's cool. You press the crit button, it transitions to slow motion for that burst and goes straight back out. So getting headshots on this guy normally in real time is pretty simple, but in slow motion it's easy to hit. I've always liked using slowdown. There's a thing in Starfield that allows you to just toggle the slowdown, like your Dragonborn powers and stuff that you get in that game. And I used to flog that as much as I do the oxygen generator thing to help when I'm sprinting when I'm over capacity. That's really helpful. There's big time saver there. Speaking of time savers, I need to kill this guy fast, because you're wasting my time. Look, this fight's been on ice for ages. Okay, maybe it won't be as good now. Just switch guns. Don't let him throw that rock. No! Nah, we jumped over it, that's fine. Oh, I didn't. At least one of these is loaded. Okay, that's great. We did it. Needlessly going down to the wire there, but... yeah, I think in terms of balance, this thing's not blowing enemies away. It's not making things too easy or leaving me frustrated and shooting at bullet sponges for a long time. So I don't actually mind the balance on this thing. Even with the Gauss bullets, this thing fires slow, and obviously the Gauss bullets, they're not cheap and they're not super common either. So for a balancing standpoint, I think it's doing really well. I think the presentation of this thing is really good. It's just a shame that the third-person animations are a bit balked at the moment, but that could be upgraded in time, I'm sure. Alright, this time we'll fight on this guy's territory using standard bullets. We'll go for a bit of stealth commandoing. That kind of worked there, apart from missing most of those shots. There we go. Perfect. I wonder how long the slow-mo happens. I guess if I activate a critical, the slow motion will stay until I actually do the burst. Here's a Mysterious Stranger again. Did a lot of damage just now. Is he going to keep doing that much damage? No, he's not. Just dodged out of the way there. That was a pretty clutch little thing, I think. Oh, he's back for more. He might even finish him here. Wow, he's tearing him apart. He did so much damage there. Okay, so the Mysterious Stranger has been elevated to a new level using the VAFS mod, and that's interesting. It's so weird how the balance dynamic changes. You don't have all of that accuracy that you just guarantee in VATS, but then you invest in some sort of obscure perk like the Mysterious Stranger, you ends up getting possibly thousands of damage on that ghoul there. Also, whilst providing a distraction as well. Not so good if you're trying to stealth everything up and the Mysterious Stranger aggroes everything. But that's interesting. I don't think we're missing too much with this thing, not using it in standard VATS, so I'm happy. I'm happy to keep experimenting with this thing for a while. Maybe a heavy gun might be the next time we use it, but it's good that I've got classic holstered weapons again. I had to... Yeah, the skeleton thing, it's so obvious now. I should have looked into it earlier. Alright, the last monster for the day will be the giant lobster creature that lives in Death Lake. There he is. I guess I'll start this fight off with a bit of slow motion if he resurfaces again. If he continues to vibe down there. I see you. That's good enough. There we go. Even get a little stagger underground there. Oh, look, the Mysterious Stranger has turned up. Normally I struggle with this guy, but that full burst that I did before, that's doing us pretty well. Also, the fact that his health bar shows above his head, that's pretty helpful as well. And now that Mysterious Stranger is gone, we get our sneak criticals back. So what I mentioned before, that totally come to fruition. So that's what it's like. Oops, that was probably a worthless crit there as I spent it on a reload. That's fine. Now, the reason that I wanted to fight this one is that normally he spits at you and it'd be a lot easier to dodge in slow motion. Not that I'm really utilizing slow motion for all that much. And that is Nerd Rage. We're super pissed off at the moment. I tell you what, I feel like there's a bit of stagger behind this rifle. A little bit more than what we're used to seeing out of your 5.56 standard shots. There we go, there's Mysterious Stranger again. He's come in pretty clutch. He might actually finish him. Not quite. He did just enough to turn him around. Wow, okay. Not a lot of weapons of sort of vanilla, maybe possibly better damage can take the lobster like that. And I think I got a lot of help from the VAF system there, and of course the Mysterious Stranger coming in clutch. But tell you what, I'm starting to like that perk a lot better now, because normally, like, you gotta watch this super dumb slow animation for the Mysterious Stranger to do things, and that might just waste time for the play. But now he just sort of spawns in next to you and fights alongside you for like 2 seconds, or however long it takes him for him to get shot down. So that's really cool. I don't mind that one bit. And I also don't mind this rifle. I think it's unreal. Of course, you've got a few of the obvious problems, which I won't go too hard on. Like, it's fine. If you don't use this thing in third person, you won't even notice. And there's a lot of players out there that play Fallout 4 a lot like a first-person shooter. But obviously, if you are using this thing in normal standard VATS, you're going to have third-person camera angles. So that might be a turn-off for some. But for a first-time mod, I think this is a pretty well-done mod. And hopefully the author here perfects their craft and can continue giving us more weapons and fun to play with in the future. So recommend downloading this one, especially if you are a big Titanfall fan. I think this one will be out on consoles soonish, so it sort of said in the Nexus page. So maybe something to look forward to if you are a Titanfall fan and you also have a console. Played those back in the day. I don't think they made a Titanfall after the second one from what I remember, but what would I know, right? I never played it. but worth a look if you are interested. And I think these raiders coming at me. Do you just understand that I killed the most deadly lobster in the Commonwealth? No, of course they didn't. They're all coked up. But yeah, check it out if you want. And I think that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. And my flashlight's behind me. How are you supposed to see in front of you? What's that gonna do for you? Wonder if that's classic holstered weapons doing that. It might be, you know. Oh, I know. It's just casting from where the Pip-Boy would usually be. Well, that's just weird.